Welcome back, everybody. My last guest is Benazir Adow, and she's a YouTuber and a lover of fashion enthusiast. She is into modest fashion, actually, which is a space that's really growing and killing it. And it's even growing in terms of like financially. It's now like they say it's like $1 billion industry, and so it's like it's on another level. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's such a pleasure.
So honored.
Oh, it's our absolute pleasure. I'd love to hear a little bit about your story, how your passion for fashion first started out.
It kind of started out when I started not getting the clothes that I wanted on the stores.
Right.
So like I just had to tweak. Like I'm looking at Instagram and modest bloggers from another country. I'm like, wow, you look so nice. And then at the time you were a blogger. Yeah. But I was like used to wear things. I'm like, no, I can't do that. It's not gonna work. Like the short skirts, I'm like, with the trouser
and
now.
The tight skirts.
I can't do that. So I had to just tailor my clothes. And just work with it.
Interesting. So you had to then tailor, like actually have tailor-made clothes so that it sits well on your body.
Yes.
The way, you know, the way that would leave you feeling comfortable.
Yeah, because you don't want it too tight, too revealing. Like right now I have a cutout top. And I'm wearing a top underneath. Right. So like you're always layered. So you're always layered. Yeah. So layering is key.
Layering is key. That's a good. Those are the tips. Layering is key. Exactly. So that you still are like expressing yourself in a fashionable manner. Yes. But still being modest. Exactly. Right. Yeah. So I'm curious to know who locally were you looking to as for guidance or as inspiration? Because you talked about you were looking out there. I guess in other parts, whether it's America, Middle East, it doesn't matter. But you were like, wow, all those clothes. And so who did you find that you were lacking inspiration here?
At the time, actually my sister was my inspiration because she was like the first modest blogger back in I think 2017, 16, I'm not so sure. So like she started making out her clothes. And it's actually, we have like a brand where we're called the Nural Ains, where we like make modest fashion clothes. So like she was my inspiration because she was doing it at first and then I later entered the game.
Right. So I'd like to take a look at some of the pieces that you've featured on, specifically even on your Instagram page, because you've got like some really cool outfits. Like I love the one where you have the black turtleneck and the red culotte pants. So tell me, like when you're trying to find pants that work, what are some of the challenges that you face?
Actually, you can get pants your size anywhere. You just have to tailor it. Okay. Like that's hands down. So the only thing to look modest, because the pants I'm wearing is actually very wide.
Like how wide?
Like one leg is just like a 36. Wow. And that's normally size of a hip, like the hips or somebody.
The waist, but so you have to get like
you have to like source the material, get a good tailor, because tailors don't understand. There's not like a hijabi tailor. Oh, but there's hijabi brands. At least they've got you. So let's talk about like this striped dress that you've got on here. So what are some of the things that you consider when you're picking up patterns and prints and things like that? Actually, the thing is, you just play around with anything. Like you're not like how do you say it? Like limited to a certain print, or I know that's a misconception about everybody. Everybody just assumes it's a black bui scarf, black shoes. But you can play around with anything. You just have to make it more modest. I hear you. Because I also noticed that you also play around with hats. Oh my god, I'm so into it. I love it. Because you look so edgy. Like I like it when you had the beanie and it's like, okay girl, where you at? Like when and like you've got the denim jacket as well. I don't like, especially for me, like I like being more edgier. I like glasses and bags and boots. I wish I could wear high heel boots, but it's you're like, imagine underneath your dress, so somebody's like, oh yeah, and you're like, please look, I have these high heel boots. They're so cute. So literally, like, tell me about like some of the pairings and like ways to make your looks more edgy, so that you can give tips to anyone watching, whether they're into modest fashion or not. But like, what's the key? Because you've also got like this
there's another hat that you had that I thought was really cool. I think it was like I don't know if it was a leather hat.
Yeah, it's a leather hat.
Okay.
It's like backwards.
Yeah, backwards. Yeah. So if I want to be more edgy, because personally that's what I think like the cool style, the cool vibe is right now with these youngins and you know, you just want. I want to look cool, basically.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like I've crossed that field.
Yeah, I understand.
So what are your tips? Like, what should we be looking to invest in? Like,
first of all, invest
buy. You know, whether it's like a hat or jacket.
Just being edgy. If you just have stunners and a hat, you're good to go.
Okay.
It's just basically that, and the whole like denim jacket, and I like also like sneakers, and just play around with it.
Right, denim jackets, hat, sneakers. I'm not kidding. I genuinely want to be more edgy, so like denim jacket.
I think you can slay it,
yeah, and have fun, and also it's
just
comfortable.
Just a hat, like a hat can kill it.
Yeah,
just a hat.
And bomber jackets, because I see you rock quite a few of the bomber jackets. You've got this green one. That just
I have so many. I have also an African print one. Just play around with anything. You know, that's the good thing. You just buy things and just pair it together.
And what about like any tips when it comes to more dressed up looks? Because there's this like beautiful blue gown that you have.
Actually made that.
You made that?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Designed it,
So any tips when it comes to like dressing up and when it in specific to like more black tie events?
Yeah. Length is key.
Okay. Length is key.
Because you can't have like something underneath your knee and then you're like, I'm modest. You're like, honey, not.
doesn't really.
It doesn't work out.
Doesn't really.
I know.
So what are your thoughts on like mainstream fashion?
Yeah, I feel like in Kenya we're not yet there. We're not yet there.
In what way?
Like I can never find anything. Like the other day I was like, I need to update my wardrobe. So I went to LCYKK and I was like, yo, and there's also by there modest fashion, but it's like huge t-shirts. Like I'm so tiny. I'm like, I can't wear this. So I ended up buying this from actually LCYKK. And it's a knee-high dress. Yeah.
So it's really about creativity.
You just have to be creative. You have to be smart about it. So when I bought it, my sister was like, okay, so how is this gonna work? I'm like, I don't know, we're just gonna figure that out.
We'll figure it out later.
So like after I bought this, then I'm like, oh, I have palazzo. Like I just made this and then I just tucked it in.
Right. And it works.
It works.
But you wish there were like, you know,
fitted.
Right.
Like, you know, it's like I want this palazzo pant. Because I've bought so many, like I feel like hijab is with so much money. Trying to just get a style or something. It's really expensive because my normal material will be like 4 meters just for trousers.
Whoa.
Or 3.5 meters.
Right.
And you know, a normal dress for a non-Muslim is like 1.5 meters. So it's like expensive, then tailoring, it's just like complicated, but you just have to
make it work.
Make it work. Exactly.
What are your tips for anyone who's into fashion and is keen to explore their sense of style, but also doesn't know, should I be true to myself? Will people judge me? Whether it's based off of their culture, their religion, or their general beliefs, because that also can be difficult starting out when you're like, will people judge me? What will the world say? So what are your tips?
I feel like if you're especially a Muslim, like there's just no brainer, you just have to be modest. Like that's just the religion in itself. But if you're not, like, oh my God, like you have everything. Like I feel like the tip is just be true to yourself. Don't be, people mind so much about what people say, and people literally are just haters, to be honest.
No, but I hear what you're saying, that it can be difficult, and whether you're in the world of fashion or tech, there's always someone who's trying to like tell you how good you are or how bad you are, what you should change, or what are you doing.
You just have to be true to yourself.
Be true to yourself.
I think that's the main thing. Like without even over talking. Oh, you should do this, buy this, then. But just be true to yourself. Explore more styles and see what suits your body. What suits your
in style in general. Exactly. But have you found any, like, have you encountered any kind of preconceived notions from people who think that you should dress like this, be like this, act like this? Did you ever encounter that, or do you feel for the most part, as you were expressing your style, that people were like, oh, cool?
I feel like for Kenyans are very open to Islam, and they kind of know us. So in Kenya, I can't say that I've ever felt it. So I'm not gonna lie and be like, oh I feel. But I feel like people just assume like it's black and white. Like right now, if I walked up, someone like, oh my God, you look so nice. You're wearing like yellow, like mustard shoes. I'm like, we do that sometimes.
And you have fun. Have fun with fashion.
But I hear that people in the States go through like a lot of like racism and all that because of the culture.
It's definitely a lot different there.
In here, it's so different. So I can't even lie that people are going through things here.
Okay, so maybe we could end this with you sharing what trends you're currently into. Like, what are you feeling for 2019?
Palazzo pants, cutouts. I'm obsessed with tiered dresses. I can make one for you.
Hey, hello! If you're looking for the tiered dresses, like I am, the hookup is right here.
I'm so serious. I'll make one for you.
Oh, sweet!
So like the tiered dresses, and I'm obsessed with that.
I love that.
That's
I love
amazing.
that too.
You can play it with kitenge, or like cotton and anything, just basically.
Enjoy it. This was lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Aww. All right, thank you Parkin for lending us this beautiful backdrop to the show. Now, I'd love for you to take a look at the next person who's had a great impact on society. All right, so I've got our real life hero here today. His name is Jim Nyamu, and he's the executive director at the Elephant Center. He's a wildlife conservationist, and he's got a very interesting approach when it comes to raising awareness. Tell us a little bit about that, Jim.
For the last, I don't know how many, I think about 25 years now, I've been studying elephants across Kenya, Tanzania, mainly looking at the population of elephants. But it was until 2012 is when I resigned. And I resigned because of looking at the population of elephants coming down. Actually, one country that made me to resign is Eritrea, because we had so many elephants there previously, but their population has come down. The other country is basically Tanzania, where we had 140,000 elephants, and now about 40,000 elephants. And also Uganda, which has 3,500 elephants. And of course, even Kenya here, we've also lost a huge number of elephants, you know, from 167,000 elephants in 1970s to today, we're talking of about 25,000 elephants. Wow. So I chose not to do any more research, but to now go to the real issues. And the real issues is talk to people. Because as scientists, we were just writing journals, you know, and theses. But we don't reach out to our communities that are doing, you know, killing animals and looking at the human population of, we are increasing every day. But there's no one who is talking about why we should look at wildlife.
Right. And what are some of the biggest revelations you've encountered as you went along, especially speaking to communities?
You know, the thing here is conservation is not viewed as African business. And that's what thing I found when my first walk was from Mombasa to Nairobi. And I was actually mistaken, you know. People thought I was a project of white or Muzungu somewhere. You know, because this is not a business for us. We only know how to kill animals. And we're talking of actually a perpetual attitude, you know. What is this that would make a Kenyan, a black man, follow elephants? I did a walk in the US, and the same thing, the question came, what would make a Kenyan come all the way and walk in the US? So some of the things that I've seen from communities is, one, they don't like animals, basically because they are nuisance to them. There's also myths like hyenas have no value according to many people. In fact, I was surprised when I did my walk in Muranga. I had a meeting with my members of parliament in Muranga, and they asked me, for heaven's sake, why do we need hyenas? So those are people who are in the parliament, you know. The other thing is that due to the prolonged and we've never found an answer to compensation. You know, when you lose your relatives or you lose your farms to animals, there is no compensation. So this is something that is actually hitting Kenyans so much. There is no compensation. Right. And so when I'm walking there, I remember when I was just walking to Namanga, I was chased away by the Maasais there. Because I'm talking about why we should protect hyenas and lions, and them, they are crying, they should kill these animals. And when I mean walking, every day I do 30 kilometers, and I would stop in those centers. I have a vehicle that has a public address. I have a police who comes because according to the rules of the country, you cannot block the road. So until you involve the police. And I'm very happy because they have supported me. So we would stop the road, and then of course the chiefs must come and address those issues. So I have done now 17,100 kilometers.
17,000 kilometers. Oh my goodness. So I've got to ask you this question. What have been the most grueling 48 hours that you've ever had?
I just finished a walk from Nairobi to Botswana, across Tanzania, Malawi, Zambia, Zimbabwe, where I received a lot of support in Zimbabwe. And when I reached a town called Francistown in Botswana, I had a police escort with me. Every country I would get police. And I saw a big police vehicle coming, and they stopped me. And they told me that I don't have the license to walk in the country. Yet my High Commissioner, through our Office of the Foreign Affairs here, they had alerted all the foreign affairs. And we had even the police escort, the diplomat police. But I was stopped, and I was told we don't have. You know, that country is a bit difficult, but it's the largest country with so many numbers of elephants. So they told me that I don't have the permit to walk. And so what happened after that, I was told to stay in one place with the police, not do anything. I don't have to be out with my branded vehicles and myself branded. And when the report came, I was given 48 hours to leave the country using the point of entry.
Wow.
And the point of entry was about 200 kilometers to, that is Lamakwebana border to Zimbabwe. And in Zimbabwe there was no fuel. And here, what do? So I had to plead with them, to plead with the senior officer to let me use the longer route. This is Kazugura, so that I can only cover 100 kilometers in Zimbabwe to avoid fuel. How do you communicate to your people? I had a team of 7 people, support team. I'm the team leader. How do you communicate this to your people who had hopes in what you're doing?
That must have been, I mean, talk about grueling. That really is that. Wow, Jim, you're doing such amazing work.
Thank you.
And the fact that you've dedicated your life to animals and to educating others about why it's important that we preserve and conserve, you know, wildlife in its essence it's truly remarkable. So thank you, Jim. We wish you all the best.
We'll keep walking until the world knows that.
Yes. In fact, next, I think I heard that you're going to Sri Lanka. Is that
I will be doing the walk in Sri Lanka.
Look at that. In May. Look at that. And that means the kilometers just keep going up. Thank you, Jim. This has been so enlightening. We celebrate you. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's show. We'll be back Monday, 8 a.m. sharp. Bye.